Salute, salute, salute. This is your boy King Jr. Got some more boxing news for y'all. And I kind of wanted to touch on this subject a little bit more between the Rolly Romero fight and the Ishmael Barbosa fight a little bit. So I'm not going to take up too much of your guys' time. This fight was a very, very strange fight to me. It was just like any other typical fight that I've seen. Both guys was rough and rugged. But the difference between this fight is I can see the difference in Rolly Romero game when he fought Gervonta Tank Davis. And from then and now, he doesn't look like he's the same Rolly Romero. I mean, a lot of fighters isn't the same fighter when they fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Rolly Romero was getting hit with the right hand by Ishmael Barbosa all night long. And he looks like he was very hesitant at times to try to exchange and throw back at Ishmael Barbosa. Now, I'm not going to discredit him too much. He did have some shots that Rolly Romero was landing some big clean shots, but he was just he wasn't in sync and wasn't in rhythm like he usually does. That's not the type of roller we usually see a Rolly Romero that's a little bit aggressive, trying to get the opponent out of there. But in this fight, he wasn't aggressive, and looks like Gervonta Tank Davis has really taken a toll on Rolly Romero. Now, I don't know too much about this Ishmael Barbosa guy. We know he's a Venezuela fighter. We know he comes from a poor country that's looking to give it everything he got. He looks like he's rough, he's rugged, and he just came in a fight. So he was a come straight forward fighter, coming at Rolly, throwing everything he got. And he had some moments where he was actually doing some good counter punching on Rolly Romero, and you can look at the referee at times that he kind of wanted to jump in and do certain type of things that was corrupt. But we're gonna get into Tony Weeks in a minute. But basically, Ishmael Barbosa was basically catching him with a basic traditional 1, 2, 3 all night long, and he was catching Rolly Romero with that, and he was catching Rolly Romero towards the end of the fight, like the eighth, the eighth and the ninth round. It literally looked corrupted to me because he kept catching Rolly Romero with the same thing, and then when it got to that ninth round, it was a clean right hand that he threw at Rolly Romero, and Rolly Romero, well, actually, before Ishmael Barbosa threw the clean right hand in the ninth round, Rolly Romero was throwing lefts, basically throwing lefts, right, basically was trying to throw 5 to 6 punches, but clearly most of them punches that Rolly Romero was throwing while he had Ishmael Barbosa closer to the corner in the ropes, Ishmael Barbosa was dodging them. And so Ishmael Barbosa, once he got under Rolly Romero's last punch in the ninth round, he threw a big clean right at Rolly Romero. Then next thing you know, Tony Weeks jumps in, and the dude basically stopped the fight, and he didn't even look like he was hurt. Now, in the beginning of the fight, Rolly Romero got dropped. He got dropped. Like I said before, he wasn't in rhythm. He didn't look as the Rolly Romero that I seen when he fought Gervonta Tank Davis. He was walking down Tank. He was trying to be the aggressor on Tank Davis. He was basically pushing Tank Davis on the back foot. I thought that was the Rolly Romero we was gonna get, but apparently we got a shot Rolly Romero now that looks very timid and very unsynced to come forward and fight, because I guess he has the fear that he might get knocked out. And as a fighter, you cannot have that fear of being timid and getting knocked out, because it poses the opponent to be the aggressor towards you. And so I'm not going to discredit, like I said, I'm not going to discredit Rolly too much. He was trying to fight, but that whole Tony Weeks situation, when him jumping in after seeing that guy throw a clean punch at Rolly Romero, basically doing basic things to Rolly Romero, this fight kind of looked at like the Edgar Berlanga and Alexis Angulo. If you guys go watch that Alexis Angulo and Edgar Berlanga fight, Alexis Angulo was basically catching him with the straight left over the right, the jab, basically a jab cross overnight. He was basically setting him up for the jab and landing that right hand all night long on Edgar Berlanga, and it was working. And I feel like Edgar Berlanga didn't even win that fight against Alexis Angulo. And this fight basically looks similar, and it almost looked like the same outcome. You got a guy that's looking to be the aggressor, looking to prove a statement in the fight because he's an older fighter. And he was looking like he was continuing to fight. And then next Tony Weeks just, oh, I got paid. I can't let you win this fight. I'm gonna stifle it. And this was his excuse. Tony Weeks, I believe, put out a post I don't remember the post exact, but he says something. I have to find that post, but I'm going to emphasize he's basically saying I gotta do what I gotta do. That's what he's basically saying in that post. And it's just sad because this dude Tony Weeks supposed to be a Hall of Fame referee, and guys, it's just some corruption in the sport of boxing. But I think, guys, he said something like this. I'm trying to find the post. I think I got it right here. He said, actually, Tony Weeks said this a week ago. He says every mistake is forgivable as long as you're accountable for your mistakes. And that right there, when he posted that, I was like, dude, you definitely getting paid in the sport of boxing for corruption. And if you guys go look at that fight, it was clearly nearly almost a one-sided fight, even though those guys was tip for tap at sometimes, but you can clearly see Barbosa was slipping under the punches. He was ducking. He was dodging under 65 to 75% of Rolly Romero's punches. And when he knocked down Rolly Romero, he basically in his mind thought he won the fight. But when you got a corrupt referee like Tony Weeks in the game, it's basically you're not gonna win the fight, and it was make no sense for him to stop that fight. I didn't even want to touch on this subject, but I said, I'll give my thoughts and opinions. So that's all I got for you guys. With that being said, Tony Weeks needs to be out the sport of boxing as a referee because we know what type of player he is. He will be a great referee for the NBA, in my opinion, because them NBA ref are corruptions and these boxing refs are corruptions, and they need to get some type of sanctioning body or investigation, ATF, FBI, whatever the case may be, to get these corrupt people out of these sports and lock them up and make them and hold them accountable for what they do. So with that being said, guys, it is what it is at the end of the day. And also, I think Tony Weeks was the one that called that Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. I think he was the one that called that fight. I think I could be wrong, but it looked like it was some corrupt things in that fight. Well, not corrupt, but it looks like Tony Weeks wanted to do something corrupt. I could be wrong. I think he was the guy for that fight. So with that being said, guys, it is what it is at the end of the day. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way in, on your way out. This is your boy King Jr. We'll be back with some more boxing news. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.